Have you tried diet after diet after diet, only to get on the scale, look down, and see that it is creeping back up? And it doesn't have to be this way. And we bring this up because Darlene submitted a question to us. She says, I can do a diet and lose the weight, but eventually it creeps back on. And Darlene, you are not alone. This is something we commonly hear all the time, and we have some tips and some thoughts. And I say thoughts because I kind of know what we're going to cover here today, because it really is a shift in those. And so, Michelle, what do we have for her today?
So, yeah, I think this is so true. I know that back when I used to diet, that would happen to me constantly, and it's discouraging. It's so annoying and it's so frustrating. And so I'm here to just tell you, stop dieting, okay? Diets don't work. And I'm going to give you 2 reasons why they don't work. First of all, diets don't work because they're based off of deprivation. You can't have fill in the blank. You can put in anything in that blank. If you can't have something, then it's not sustainable, because at some point your willpower is going to be maxed out and you're going to want that thing and you're going to give in. And sometimes when you deprive yourself of something for so long, when you give in, you don't just have a little bit of it. You just have a lot of it, maybe all at once, or maybe over an extended period of time. Maybe you just have cake, for example, every day of the week, or maybe you have cake, maybe it becomes an every weekend thing, which isn't so bad. But if it becomes something that you're obsessive over because you can't have it, then it's going to keep you from losing weight. And then secondly, diets don't work because they have an expiration date. Back to that deprivation thing, I can't have cake until I reach 125 pounds. And as soon as I reach that goal, I'm going to celebrate. I won't eat cake all the time, but I'm going to celebrate. That's the thinking, right? And then what happens when you actually reach 125 pounds is that food that you were so deprived of, again, makes a major appearance in your life because you haven't had it for so long. And I picked cake because I love sugar. And so that's the one thing that I am very, very mindful of and very careful with. And so that's one reason, 2 reasons actually, why diets don't work. So what can you do to lose weight instead? You have to really change your relationship with food. You have to think differently about where you've been. Because once you reach that goal weight on a diet, you're going to start doing what you've done all along. And when you start doing what you've done all along, you're going to get the same result that you had before. That weight is going to start creeping back up. Sometimes our willpower gives up before we even reach that goal, and we start falling back on old habits. And so you've got to change the way you think about food. You have to change your relationship with food. And you have to realize that, you know what, I can eat the things that I love, but I may have to change the way that I do eat them. You know, maybe instead of having steak and mashed potatoes and bread, have your steak and surround it with high fiber foods. And maybe the next night you decide, you know what, I really, really, really want some bread. I want some chicken salad on bread because that sounds delicious. You know what? Have your chicken salad on bread, but surround it with high fiber foods. Maybe have a salad with it, like a greens salad, and then have a huge clump of grapes with it as well. You know what? That's a weight loss meal. That is a lot healthier for you naturally. You're still eating that thing that you were craving, but you're surrounding it with foods that are lower in calories, high in fiber and water, and that's going to help you lose weight. You know, the important part is to get rid of the deprivation. Pick that food that you do enjoy, put it on your plate, but surround it with high fiber foods. And that's one of the things that I absolutely love about Full Plate. I love that I can eat anything that I want. There's no forbidden food. It just needs to be surrounded with high fiber foods. So in the last month, I have had, a burger and fries. I have had pizza. I have had mac and cheese. I've had lasagna. I've eaten every single one of those foods, but they always surrounded by high fiber foods, whether that's salads or a minestrone soup, or whether it's steamed veggies or a fruit salad or some of my favorite just fruit that I have on hand. You can still eat them, but again, surround them with high fiber foods. So if you want to lose weight and you want to keep it off for good and not constantly have to go on all these diets, whether it's for 2 months, 2 weeks, or 6 months, shift your thinking. Start asking yourself, what can I eat? Can I really eat this way for the rest of my life? And if the answer is no, then you're still dieting. So find ways to enjoy your favorite foods in a way that is still slimming and will still help you lose weight. And then you can stick with it long term. And when you stick with it long term, weight loss becomes a natural side effect. It's not something you're chasing. It's something that's just naturally happening to you. So I urge you to go to our high fiber food list, and I want you to write down as many of those foods as you like. Maybe these are foods you're already eating. That's great. Eat more of them. Maybe they're foods you've had in the past that you know that you like. Maybe you've had them at a restaurant or at a family member's house. Great. Write those down. Or if there are foods that you've thought about and you're saying, okay, I'm open to eating that. I've never really cooked it before, but I'm willing to give it a try. Write some of those down too. And then pile them on your plate, because you know what? The more fiber food that you have on your plate, the easier it is to lose weight. And that's really what you want, is you want permanent weight loss. You don't just want something that'll get you to an idealized number on the scale. You want to lose weight and keep it off for good.
That's right. I mean, the ultimate goal is to maintain.
Yes.
And that's why it's changing that style of eating, adding these high fiber foods, and really thinking of these high fiber foods first. What fiber foods am I going to put on my plate? And I love that you mentioned the high fiber foods list that we have. So you'll definitely find that link in the show notes below. Take a look at that. As Michelle said, write down the ones that you like already and start eating those, because if you like them, you're going to enjoy eating the whole plate more.
Yes.
And that's just a great place to start. The thing with these fiber foods is they're both, all of these fruits, vegetables, beans, and cooked whole grains, is they are high in fiber and water, which make them a naturally lower calorie food, which is what's going to help you lose weight. And that's really kind of the idea and thoughts behind it. So start adding those to your plate. So if this has helped you, thank you, Darlene, for this question. But if this has helped you as well, please give us a thumbs up so others can find the video and we can help them as well. So have a fantastic day, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye, everyone.